Coach Juan Antonio Orenga of the Guangzhou Long Lions looking to win another championship here in the Asia League. They won the Super 8 2 months ago, but last year the team that won the Super 8 was the Chiba Jets, and they look to come back strong. Coach Atsushi Ono still leading the Jets as they try to rise back to supremacy here in the Asia League. Jutsulit and Sidel Tupas on the call in this battle of champions of the Asia League. One championship each for these two teams, and I'm sure they want to really stamp their class here by winning the second.
What a treat on day one of the Asia League Terrific 12.
I know, right? Usually you warm audiences up for battles like this.
Yeah, absolutely. And two teams, two champions teams, finding themselves in one group, and this could be a duo. Yeah, probably a do or die game, especially if who wins here may be the one who will represent their group to the next round.
Yes, and you know what? For incredible matchups like this, it's really very crucial, Sidel, because sometimes in tournaments you tend to say, okay, they got us in the elimination round. We hope we meet them again in the playoffs, and then we'll get them back. But there's no such thing here in the Terrific 12 because only one team will advance from each group, meaning you don't meet the same team twice.
Yeah, definitely. And this is, they belong to Group C, which is actually, I think, is the tournament's group of death. Ulsan, Hyundai, Mobis, Phoebus is there with them, with these two teams. And Ulsan, also a formidable team, and it's going to be a battle. And all the games in this group will be a dogfight.
Absolutely. Now we're meeting the starters for both teams. The last name you heard in those introductions was Zhu Mingxin, the MVP of the Asia League Summer Super 8 2 months ago. But I'm sure that more than winning another MVP, what Zhu would want to get here is another crown, another chip. And he'll try to use the help of his teammates. A lot of guys there, very talented, and their imports as well, and Kyle Fogg and Marie Spades. Curiously, Spades not starting this game. And also for the Guangzhou Long Lions, on their lineup is the #1 pick of the recent CBA draft in Ray Chen, a member, of course, the starting point guard of the national team of Chinese Taipei. Goes by the Chinese name Cheng Yingchen. For Chiba, starting for them, Michael Parker, Trey McKinney-Jones, Fumio Nishimura, Gavin Edwards, and team captain Ryumu Omo.
Well, Guangzhou always, as always in this tournament, in the Asia League, always with a height advantage. Zheng Zhen right there, 7-footer.
And if you guys saw the finals between the Guangzhou Long Lions and the Seoul Samsung Thunders, you would know that Zheng Zhen, tall as he is able to knock down three-pointers. He had 3 threes in that game, in that finals. And that really spelled, well, part of it was what spelled the difference.
Well, it was a memorable game, to say the least. Guangzhou able to pull out a 78-72 win.
Jumping it off, the Guangzhou Long Lions and the Chiba Jets from Japan and from China, the Long Lions. So it's going to be Zhang Yongping and Gavin Edwards. We're taking some time as I think they're trying to clear some things because on the lineup, Zhang Yongping's number is 33, but the jersey number he's wearing is 13. But we're good to go though. Again, the battle of champions between the Chiba Jets and the Guangzhou Long Lions. Parker misses the first shot of the game. Kyle Fogg with the rebound.
Interesting to see here on how the Long Lions will try to attack the Chiba Jets, because size-wise, I think Chiba not far off against the Long Lions.
I'm very curious too how Maurice Pates will come in for the Guangzhou Long Lions. You saw the Long Lions when they played and won the Summer Super 8. How do you think having an import like Kyle Fogg and Maurice Pates will help them?
I think both imports address, a need here for the Long Lions. Kyle Fogg, I think, gives them a very good playmaker, gives them quickness at the backcourt, something that they need as well. A very reliable scorer up front, because they rely a lot on Zhu Mingxin and Gokai and Zheng Zhen for baskets, but Kyle Fogg there, able to break down defenses and attack the paint, will give them some more production from the backcourt. And Maurice Pates, of course, he brings him a lot of experience, a championship experience, from the Golden State Warriors, as Zheng Zhen buries that jumper.
How about the hot start here for the Guangzhou Long Lions? Now, we talked about the Long Lions already. Moving on to the side of the Chiba Jets, what do you think will be key for them as they execute against the recently crowned Asia League champs?
Well, it is going to be a difficult time. Again, as it's a three ball from Jones. Going to be a tough time for them matching up with this Long Lions team. But make no mistake about it, they were really up against it last year, and they managed to win the title right here at this very same venue. It takes a lot of resilience and a lot of character from this team, and I think they can give the Long Lions some problems here. Although I would think that Guangzhou has probably has the edge, especially with manpower.
Oh no, Fogg giving him a hard time. The steal, the three, no good. Mokhtar trying to get that rebound, unsuccessful. The Japanese with their signature run and gun basketball. Ball taken away, however, by the Long Lions. Zhu. He's very crafty underneath, but the defense of Japan was there to stop Zhu, but not Fogg.
Kyle Fogg, 4 points early in this ball game.
And Japanese basketball known to, they have a tendency to run. But right now, it's the running game, or it's Guangzhou that's pushing the pace of this game. And they've been very successful in doing so.
You're right about that. And early offense going for the Long Lions here.
10-3 is the score. The Jets struggling not only with their shot, but a lot of turnovers already piled up by the Japanese squad. 8 seconds on the shot clock. Edwards backing down Jun.
Yeah, Edwards really a veteran in Japan. Has played the last 4 years there. 30-year-old, 6'9", power forward, played for UConn in the NCAA.
Here's Edwards, jump shot over Zheng Zhen is good.
Well, that's something that they have to work on here. Chiba Jets, they have to draw out Zheng Zhen from that inside position, especially defensively.
That's a three-pointer. Don't be surprised if you're watching Zheng for the first time and you're surprised that he takes those three-point shots. He has those. And he also has that ability to block shots, obviously. Rejecting Trey McKinney-Jones. Zhu Mingxin. Lots of physicality there, and that is his style of basketball. He loves getting those bombs. TMJ, door closed on him.
Well, Jones thought he had the lane free, and that's what we're talking about. You have to draw out Zheng Zhen out of that lane. And Mokhtar buries the three. That's, a bit of trivia on Mokhtar. actually missed his first 15 or 16 three balls in the Super 8. Now he makes his first one.
I remember clearly, the first time we covered Mokhtar, we were already questioning his shot selection because even though he was missing, he was obviously so cold from three-point range, he still kept on taking shots and taking shots. And then deeper down in that tournament, we realized, oh, that's why he was taking those shots, because it was just a matter of an off night for him.
0 for 11 to start the tournament.
Edwards losing control there. The Chinese running again. Foul given up to stop them in transition.
Or they're not just running the break like a well-oiled machine, but also terrific defensively. Kyle Fogg leading the charge again for Guangzhou Long Lions, and here he is.
The guy that a lot of people here in Macau have been waiting to see, Maurice Pates, an NBA champion, has checked into the game for the Guangzhou Long Lions.
11-year veteran Kyle Fogg, unstoppable at the moment. Nobody can keep track of him.
Fogg almost saying, Maurice, you'll have your time, but right now I have the hot hand. Let me do this first. Nishimura. Good intention on that bounce pass, but it was pretty risky. Michael Parker telling his point guard, you gotta find the rhythm of our offense, not force things. 4 errors already for the Chiba Jets.
That's in stark contrast with the Guangzhou Long Lions.
How about that? They call him Mo Buckets, and he shows us why. Very first shot, money on the three for Big Mo Spades. Timeout, Chiba Jets. Maurice Pates announced his entry into the game in his debut in the Asia League. Terrific 12 with a three-pointer on his very first attempt. How hard is it to come off the bench and make your very first shot? And there was a defender in front of him too.
Well, Mo Spades, a professional player for the past 11 seasons. And, if you hit shots like that in the NBA, even contested, and how much more here in the Asia League?
That's right. 20-5, that's the lead of the Long Lions so far. And very hesitant are the Chiba Jets right now, but Parker almost getting that steal from Spades. Guangzhou recovers. Fogg, 3-ball, no good. Edwards with the rebound. What did the Chiba Jets need to do at this point?
Well, it's very hard because they haven't settled yet into this ball game. And that's a combination of a lot of things. They haven't been executing because the Guangzhou defense has not allowed them to do that. But you have to stick to it. They have to keep pushing the basketball and really find their range and find their flow in their offense. They're shooting just 20% in this first quarter.
That's right, 2 for 10. Ray Chen has also checked into the game for the Guangzhou Long Lions. Again, the #1 pick in the recent CBA draft. Fogg leaves it up. but the dunk was missed by Zhang Yongping. Oh, and Chen gives up that foul. A weak one. So Parker was still able to complete the three-point play.
Well, it's plays like this, off the defensive stop. You push the action, and I think with Spates there, I think they can get that running game going, the Chiba Jets, and not allow the defense of the long lines to set up, because once that defense is set up, you know, there's just a wall in there that makes it difficult for the Chiba Jets to really execute their offense.
Spades open again. Shot from outside, though, good. Parker getting that rebound from Sun Mingyang. Parker has it. Dumps it down low to the post to Ono. Spin to the baseline and a shot over Maktar. 2 points for Ono.
Just a quick play on that low block. A couple of passes and they find their way inside. They find the mismatch right there.
Sun Mingyang doing too much. Getting called for the offensive foul, using his elbow. Well, Edwards was really playing him tight defense, and you see him there bumping bodies. Veteran smarts also for Edwards.
Yeah, definitely right there. Sun Mingyang, you know, didn't play in the elimination round and the semifinals of that Super 8, but came in the finals and just contributed heavily to that victory of the Guangzhou Long Lions in the championship game against the Seoul Samsung Thunders.
It was really big for them, you know, to have Sun Mingyang help out in that championship game. Timeout has been whistled by the Guangzhou Long Lions. They're still up by 11 points, but the Chiba Jets looking to make a run. They've scored 4 straight. At the free throw line right now is Shigehiro Taguchi, who just checked into the game and really injected some spark into the Chiba Jets. That's now 5 straight points, Adele, for the Chiba Jets, and slowly they're turning this into a ball game. They're coming back and showing their championship composure.
Well, definitely, and you know, the Long Lions also, with Fog resting, it's a chance for the Chiba Jets to make their move here.
Maktar, Gokai, another forceful player, has entered the game for the Long Lions. Well, Sun will be called for another foul here.
Well, they got to be careful here. The Guangzhou Long Lions have to adjust to the calls. That right there is an illegal pick. He was caught holding on as well. It wasn't just moving.
Yeah.
Also was holding on to the defender.
That's right. And the 2 fouls that Sun have committed were both offensive fouls, and that has led now to an 8-0 run for the Chiba Jets.
It's Nishimura right there with a 3 off the pick. Well-run play by the Jets, and this is what we've been talking about. They have to continue executing.
And now the shots of the Long Lions not falling in. I think Soon is a little too eager at this point of the ball game. Maybe, just maybe, a better option at least at this point is to take him out of the game.
Well, again, Ono right here. This was the mismatch earlier that the Chiba Jets were able to find as they run their early offense very early. And right now, I think that started this run here for the Jets that allowed them to move closer. This was once a 15-point lead for Guangzhou, now down to 6.
The Long Lions also have to be thankful that they were able to establish that large lead to start the game, because right now momentum is completely favoring the side of the Chiba Jets. And somehow Guangzhou still able to weather the storm, holding on to this 5-point advantage.
Well, Parker getting a breather now. Edwards right there, the big man for the Jets.
Mukhtar, difficult three-pointer. The Long Lions have been settling for difficult shots here. Oh no, from outside, 3 is good. That's now a 13-0 run.
Wow, Chiba, terrific response here. Late in this first period, they managed to cut this lead. Once 15, now down to 2. And you know, it all started with, you know, Ono earlier making the shot, and then it translates into better intensity on the defensive end, and then they put together a 13-0 run that was just stopped right there by Chen Ying-chun.
Here again, Taguchi. Ono has that basketball once more. Matched up against Mukhtar. Making his move now, step back, difficult shot. That was a foul. It's gonna be called on Omiya. Chiba just committing their 4th team foul. Couple of substitutions for Coach Atsushi Ono.
Well, really, Japanese teams also known to be very disciplined, and they try to, you know, execute until they break down the defense. And we saw that with the Fukuoka Rising Zephyr in the Super 8, where they really, you know, although undermanned, they only fielded a 9-man lineup. They made it difficult for the teams they faced here in the Super 8 previously.
No question about that. Ray Chen, 7 seconds left on the clock. Sends it out to Mukhtar. Sun has to put it up. That's off. And the first quarter will end with the Guangzhou Long Lions. Their lead, 115, now down to 4, 22-18. One quarter in, we saw an exchange of runs. Maurice Pates entered that ball game in the first period and hit a three-pointer immediately. But that was when the Chiba Jets called the timeout, and then they were able to mount their counter run, 13-0 blitz. And now the lead of the Long Lions, after that shot from Spades, is 6 points.
Well, most Spades just unstoppable inside that paint. He's got that soft touch. But, you know, Chiba made that run with Kyle Fogg resting on that Guangzhou bench. So, should be interesting how they cope again with Fogg in the ball game. Because I think Kyle Fogg has really been the catalyst here for the Long Lions.
Here he is, leading Shen. Now sends it out to Mokhtar. Three-pointer on the way, no good. He gets his own board. How in the world was he all alone for that rebound and that putback?
Well, great box out there by Zhang Yongpeng, who was holding on to Trey McKinney-Jones. That's why I couldn't get the ball there. And Mokhtar just tracking down his own miss. And, you know, the guy who misses the shot is actually the most dangerous guy on that floor.
Absolutely. He knows where it's going to bounce. Foul called on the Long Lions. Zhang will be called for a foul. Let's take a look at that. Well, Trey McKinney-Jones understood that he had a speed advantage against the big man of Guangzhou.
Well, size-wise, Guangzhou obviously with the advantage here, but take a look at this lineup by Chiba. I think this is your most athletic lineup. As Michael Parker puts it in. Great pass there by Fujinaga.
No athleticism needed, as that was a beautiful pass. Easy shot. Fogg looking for help. Fogg almost throwing that ball away. Shen recovers. Fogg once again. Oh, foul called on McKinney-Jones. Practically, oh, check that. It wasn't on McKinney-Jones, it's Fujinaga getting called for that. And now, with the shot clock winding down, 2 free throws will be given to Kyle Fogg.
Oh, that's a bailout call, but Fujinaga shouldn't have reached for that one.
That's a very, very good point, Sidelf, because in front of Fogg was McKinney-Jones, who already had him covered.
And Edwards as well was ready to help. And, you know, instead of getting a stop right there, shot clock was winding down. You surrender 2 points at the free throw line to Kyle Fogg.
Fogg making the most of his opportunities. He's the first guy in this game to double digits with 10 points. McKinney-Jones missing. Fogg to Spades. No good. He's 1 for 3 from outside. Fujinaga almost losing that basketball. TMJ couldn't get it past the defense of Spades. Chen decides to attack. They send it out. Now it's Fogg, very shifty and very skilled as a scorer.
Well, Kyle Fogg, you know, the ball fake wasn't working that time and took it upon himself to take one dribble and knock in the pull-up.
Fujinaga again to Edwards. Losing control of it. And passes it to the Guangzhou bench.
Well, it's straight at the Guangzhou bench. And you know what? Not even the Guangzhou bench expected that pass.
Well, you know, the thing is, they have the same colors. Obviously, you see it red and white. And obviously, they're wearing contrasting uniforms, one light, one dark. But when they were warming up, both of them were in red warmers. And you couldn't tell which players belonged to Guangzhou and which players were for Chiba.
A great find there by Maurice Spades. He gets the ball to Zhang Yongpeng underneath. Look at this here, because... And you gotta like what Spades is doing, because, you know, the defense is drawn out because they know he's a threat from beyond the arc. And that frees up inside for Zhang Yongpeng to operate.
And so Zhang will get to the free throw line. 7:08 remaining here. What do you think were the adjustments? Because obviously, when Guangzhou first got ahead, Chiba made an adjustment And now that Chiba was within 4 points, the Long Lions also made an adjustment to reestablish a double-digit lead.
Well, I think Kyle Fogg's entry has again changed the pace of the ball game. All of a sudden, the Long Lions play with a spring in their step. They're moving the ball quicker with Fogg there, and there's a threat as well with Mo Spates. Earlier, in the tail end of that first quarter, there was no threat whatsoever. They struggled to get their offense going, and now with a stronger 5 inside, Guangzhou has regained control of this ball game.
We have another stoppage here because of some confusion that we're having. Now, earlier what had happened was Zhang Yongping was listed as number 23, or was listed as number 33 on the start list, but apparently he's wearing number 13 on the jersey. Now we have another guy who's wearing number 23 on the floor for China, but looking at the lineup they have, there's no one who's supposedly assigned to jersey number 23. We'll try to get clarity here on what should be the number or who that guy is that is wearing that jersey for China.
Zhang Yongping missing the first one, but Long Lions still on top by 11.
Zero for 2 for Zhang. 11-point advantage for Guangzhou. Here's Jones, looking for teammates. He spots Chambers working against Zhu. 6 seconds to shoot. Edwards takes the long bomb. No, Chambers working hard. The putback is good.
Well, we talked about that athleticism of the Chiba Jets with this 5 right here. That time, Chambers just beating Zhu Mingxin to the spot.
Oh, and Spades makes it an even 50% for him from down.
Well, over the course of his career, Mo Spates, I think, has really evolved as a player. Once known as a banger who can operate inside, but eventually, especially when he joined the Golden State Warriors, he was very integral to that championship run, one of the 3 championship runs that they had. Spacing the floor with his outside shooting, and now you see the full arsenal for Mo Spates.
Absolutely correct, Sadelf. And I think, in general, the Golden State Warriors, their impact and influence in the game of basketball is felt around the world. You know, teams now going with the positionless basketball that the Warriors like to use. And Trey McKinney-Jones attacks the defense, gets the deuce, will shoot a bonus.
Well, I like that spacing of the Chiba Jets that time, and also the drive here from McKinney-Jones. Able to adjust in midair. He's got 5 points so far.
TMJ completes the 3-point play. 9-point advantage for Guangzhou. 6 minutes remaining in the first half. We're coming to you from the Studio City in Macau. Jot Sulit and Sadelf Tupas on the call for this game. Zhu Mingxin, MVP of the Super 8 2 months ago, held here in Macau over at the East Asian Games Dome. And moves like those are what earned him the MVP award, because he was unstoppable. The best thing that teams could do against him was give up fouls.
Well, Zhu Mingxin, the way he's, actually what I admire about him is his footwork. Because, when he puts that ball on the floor, especially when he gets into that lane, he just makes, the timing of his steps and the way he's able to shift from left to right, he's absolutely deadly. But at the low block, I think we're seeing a different side of his game right there. Very smart and very clever as he got that foul of Chambers.
I remember that back in the Super 8, they did not have imports, so Zhu had to do some heavy lifting for the Guangzhou Long Lions, but now he's having a lot of help. 4 seconds left on the shot clock. Ball deflected by the Long Lions, but still excellent defense. Ball will stay with Chiba, but just 2.5 seconds left.
What a great job. They're moving their feet, rotating to their men, and scrambling, just absolutely scrambling on the defensive end. They complete the steal here.
Fog will get rid of his defender. Gets nothing on the three though. Edwards, the big man, taking it all away, but the pass was good for Parker. Parker misses the gimme.
Well, that was challenged at the rim. So he
How
couldn't
about Fog hanging in the air before banging that one home?
It's Kyle Fogg once again doing work, taking charge. And this right here is what Guangzhou has been lacking, especially in that Super 8 when he came in. And just right there, the adjustment to get it past TMJ for the bucket.
This dive, we can probably get the ball in, or if the defense collapses, then Sosuke or Yuma has to lift. If you don't have anything, then get into the pick and roll.
Let's go.
オフェンスまずポジション入ってね。あ、そうだけど。
Kyle Fogg leading the way for the Guangzhou Long Lions. He's got 14 points and 3 boards. And he has given, with his last shot earlier, the Guangzhou Long Lions a 12-point lead. Oh no. That pass to Edwards found the hands of a Guangzhou Long Lion. Fogg again, money on the three. 9 turnovers already for the Chiba Jets, and that has cost them a lot of doom. The Chinese have scored 15 points out of those turnovers. Oh, Trey McKinney-Jones looking to breathe some life into the Jets. Here's Fogg, staying patient now. They were able to re-establish their largest advantage of the game at 15, but that shot from Jones, trimming it down to Zhu Mingxin. That shot from Kyle Fogg. He continues to torch the Chiba Jets. 19 big points for Kyle Fogg.
Well, Kyle Fogg just picking up from where he left off in that first quarter.
Oh no, from downtown. Will miss. How about Parker beating Jung Jen to the rebound?
Well, Parker stops the bleeding there, but Kyle Fogg on fire at the moment. They have, to double him if they need to.
Good tap there, but eventually landed in the hands of the Chiba Jets as Trey McKinney-Jones converts it into 3 points.
That should be the start of something good for TMJ right there on the secondary break.
Horns play being called by Kyle Fogg. He takes a pick from Jeng. Back to Fogg. Working with some space. Puts it up. First miss in a while for him. And Gokai working hard to get that board. He's called for foul.
Gokai, limited minutes right here in the second period. Maurice Spate's entry to this team has reduced some of his minutes, but now they're playing together as Spates returns to the ball game.
2:45 remaining in the first half. 10-point lead for Guangzhou. Jones, cross-court pass. Mid-range jumper is money for Kosuke Ishii.
Ishii there, great recognition. The cross-court pass doing wonders there for the Chiba Jets.
Yeah, usually you wanna stay away from those passes because those are risky, but it paid off.
Definitely, that gave Ishii the space to operate.
Spades, another one! He's really enjoying it here in Macau with a big smile on his face after knocking down his third three-pointer.
Well, that's just terrific shooting from Mo Spades.
Hey, you win a championship with Steph Curry, maybe you learn a thing or two from him.
Of course. No, not only Steph Curry, but Klay Thompson.
Absolutely.
Two of the best shooters in the game of basketball.
Well, rumor is, in Golden State, the running secret is that Mo Spades is the long-lost Splash brother.
And that's really... No, I won't counter that argument. I would counter that rumor as Gokai scores right there. Kyle Park just making things happen for Guangzhou.
And that's also a product of his aggressiveness in scoring in the first part of this game. Now they're respecting him as Jones answers back with a two-pointer. He's a high-point man for the Jets with 13.
TMJ seems to have found his range here in the second period.
Zhu Shin. Now it's Mukhtar. He feeds Spades, turnaround jumper is no good. Parker taking that ball down. Ishii from the right side. To the cutting Jones. Hangs in the air and able to get his 15-point, also trimming the deficit down to 9.
No, very athletic there. TMJ attacking the basket as Fogg. Oh my, he's unconscious.
He tells TMJ, oh, you're gaining some ground. Let me neutralize that for you. Back to a 12-point lead.
A high-scoring game here. Guangzhou already putting up 50 points on the board. And we're not even done with this first half.
10 seconds remaining. Spades getting called for the foul.
It's a great pass there by Gavin Edwards. To Parker inside. And they able to fish a foul there. 10.8 seconds remaining. Just splitting the defense with that foul. And Spades right there with the help defense could have may have prevented a possible three-point play.
The foul there may have been on someone else and not Maurice Spades, because it seems as though he got the block.
It was against Zhu Mingxin right there.
There you go. Well, Parker makes the first free throw. Makes both of them, and it's back to a 10-point lead for the Guangzhou Long Lions. Coach Juan Antonio Orenga will ask for time here as he still has 10.8 seconds to work with in the first half. got 10.8 seconds remaining in the second quarter. Guangzhou Long Lions will inbound from the backcourt. Should be enough time if they execute properly to get a bucket here. But look at the sticky defense of Ryumu Ono. Deflecting that pass. Ball, however, will stay with Guangzhou. 9.9 seconds left. Chen gets the inbound. Fog, the hot hand for Guangzhou.
And that's a good foul to give up on Kyle Fogg. Ishii was whistled for that one because they had a foul to give. And now that leaves Guangzhou with 3.8 seconds. And that should be the final possession of the first half.
Fogg takes it. The step back, the jumper. That time not good for Kyle, but he had a marvelous first half. 22 points, 3 rebounds, 2 assists. And he has been responsible for this 10-point lead that Guangzhou is enjoying so far. 50-40 at the end of the first half.
And, you know, they've scored 50 points here, Guangzhou, but funny thing is that they only have 7 assists.
That's
and
right.
It's more of Kyle Fogg directing traffic and holding on to the ball, really. So I think, you know, best chance here for Chiba is just to shut down Kyle Fogg and force others to create and make decisions for the Guangzhou Long Lions.
Well, here in the third quarter, we'll see what kind of adjustments the Chiba Jets will try to make. They were already down by 15 points very early in this ballgame, 20-5. But then a strong surge for them got them within 4. But that was also when Kyle Fogg took over again, started his show, and re-established this double-digit advantage.
Well, you look at the statistics, Kyle Fogg plus 22. Really, with his efficiency. He's got 22 points as well. So as soon as he came out, that's when Chiba made his move. As speaking of nice moves,
Nishimura there, splitting the defense, getting to the cup.
Now, down to an 8-point lead. Nishimura, a rare incursion to the basket for Chiba. It's been difficult all the time for them.
Fogg missing. Parker getting that rebound. Nishimura back to Parker. Extra pass to Edwards.
The coach asking for a foul there. That great play there on in transition for
4 straight
Chiba.
points for Chiba. And that was also a statement jam, looking to wake his team up. A steal by Ono. Ishii up high. The alley-oop working. Parker on the finishing end of that one.
Well, remember what we talked about, Jut, in the second period. You know, first period rather, Chiba has to, you know, play at a faster pace to get a chance against this Guangzhou team.
Too strong was Mukhtar on that attempt. Almost a turnover for the Jets. To get it to Edwards. Pull-up J, money, 8-0 run in a matter of 1.5 minutes.
Coach Juan Antonio Orenga. No reaction from
Nishimura
him.
there was hit on the lip, I believe. He's bloodied up at this point and had to be replaced. This was the layup he made earlier that really sparked this entire run. Also that hockey assist. How quickly that 10-point lead evaporated. Zhu Mingxin got fouled there. There are players like him who really likes it when opponents are physical on him.
Zhu Mingxin, what a luxury to have as a player. Because, you know, when your offense isn't going well, you can always just dump it to him inside that the post area where he can operate. And, you know, he's got a mismatch here. He's got the height advantage as well. Oh, no.
Mukhtar out to Spades. Mo hanging in the air, able to get that to fall in.
Mo buckets, very deceptive.
Offensive foul on Edwards. Well, Edwards was frustrated at what he felt was a no call on the other side when Spades hit him. He got hit with a ball, actually. He got frustrated with that and initiated the physicality on the other side.
Mo Spades, very efficient. 5 of 8 field goals so far with 6 rebounds and 13 points.
Zhu, guarded by Ono. Fogg, back out to Spades. Looking to attack once again. The defense of Edwards there to meet him. Maurice Spades gets his own board. He was able to draw a foul. He's just smiling his way through this game, Maurice Spades.
Well, Maurice Spades looking fresh off the bench. Hardly, you know, he hasn't been doing a lot of the dirty job, but when called upon, and he makes shots. But Edwards right there, I think that's unforgivable. He's the guy defending Spades, and he couldn't even, box him out on that offensive rebound. He has to do better. They want to upset the Guangzhou Long Lions here.
What coaches would tell you is your job is not done when the offensive player takes the shot, or even if it's a forced shot. Your job is done on defense when your team finally gets control of the basketball. Here come the Jets. A foul on the spin. Ju Ming-shin caught holding on Ryomo Ono.
Oh, this is an underrated matchup. We're seeing Ju Ming-shin and Ono, two star players of their respective teams.
Delay of game violation, or warning at least, whistled.
Oh, I think that should be a T.
Edwards shoots over Spade. That's off. AC here, the Long Lions now slowing down the pace of this ball game. Is this a pace they want to play in?
Edwards.
From the corner, no good. Edwards with the rebound, and it will go back to the Long Lions.
I just felt that Chiba should have really capitalized on attacking on that break and rather not settle on an outside shot.
The Long Lions go back to Ju. Again, trying to maximize his matchup. Working hard to get his own board, but Parker steals it away from him.
Great defense there, that time by Ono with help from Parker.
Ju slow to get back, he finally recovers. 12 seconds on the shot clock. Nice pick and roll. Edwards was fouled. Zhang there, getting called for it. It's gonna be his third personal foul.
A great pocket pass there to free up Edwards as he attacked the lane.
Gavin Edwards, the main man in the middle for the Chiba Jets, just couldn't get that first free throw.
Well, he looks tired now, Edwards.
There has barely been any replacement for him, because if he steps out of the game, then the Jets go really small. Gavin Edwards misses both free throws. He's got 6 points and 7 boards.
Well, there's a problem because he is Chiba's best rim protector right there.
Fogg expected that to fall in. He's been silent here in the second half.
Oh, they've done a great job on him.
Well, that was also what you expected the Jets to do, really clamp down on how Fogg allowed all the other guys to try and beat them. Fogg will try from outside, way off. How about Zhang there, up high for that board. He loses the basketball though. Ishii stops for that J, that's good.
A great decision there by Ishii. Everyone was there inside the paint, so he had some space there, and he stopped and went up for that 15-footer.
Spades, bottom of the net on another three-pointer.
Well, you just can't have any answer with those types of shots. Not much you can do there.
Beautiful passing for the Japanese, spotting the cutting Parker.
Well, Chiba just hanging around against this Guangzhou team.
Oh, great defense there. Ball taken away by Fujinaga. Speedy to their side. Ishii from the corner. Missing, but the tap of Mokhtar landing in the wrong hands. Edwards over Spades, also short. Spades, you can tell that he's a bit tired by now. Or maybe not.
What did you say? As most Spades making it rain in this third period. They survive an early wave from the Chiba Jets.
20 big points already for Mo Buckets at 9 points 9 rebounds rather to his total. There's that three-pointer, and Kyle Fogg, unselfish play, knowing and recognizing the hot hand. 3 points for Maurice Pates.
Let's go, come on guys, together.
Maurice Pates, his numbers on your screens, 20 and 10 is never easy to get. That's very impressive. But 71% from the three-point line for a big man, that's insane.
A remarkable performance from Maurice Pates, and he's done that 13 minutes on the floor as well.
Wow. Probably the quickest 2010 I've seen in basketball.
Yeah, absolutely.
Definitely
Especially here in the terrific 12 so far.
But he's just proving what kind of caliber he has, or he is as a basketball player. Sun Mingyang sharing the floor with Spates. That was tipped, that was blocked by Spates. Edwards, his shot was also blocked. Parker not quitting on the play, getting the putback.
Parker right there, the right place, the right time. Spates already going back down on the other side, and that allowed Parker to get an open shot, the offensive rebound.
4 minutes and change remaining in the third period. 7-point lead for the Long Lions. Taguchi checking in for Ishii.
Ishii has done a fantastic job on Kyle Fogg here in the third period. Now Taguchi has a responsibility of shutting down this offensive scoring machine. Great help there from Parker.
They set it out, Edwards. Taguchi, Fogg in front of him, needing help. Ono will take the three-pointer. Almost down there for him. Spates, the forward pass to Chu, taking it to the other side, using some English. 2 points for Ju Mingxin.
Ju Mingxin at his best right there in the open court. And definitely one of his favorite moves there. That sidestep going to the other side, finishing with a reverse.
Edwards barreling in. Foul called on Sun Mingyang.
Smart play there by Edwards, just squeezing himself in. And a couple of Guangzhou defenders. Let's take a look at this block here by Fogg, on Fogg rather, by Edwards.
Gavin Edwards with 6 points. Last time he was at that free throw line, he missed both opportunities. This time he makes the first. One man that we haven't seen in the second half for the Chiba Jets is Trey McKinney-Jones. He had 15 points in that first half, but he actually got hit on the chest area somewhere in the second quarter. And even at the half, Sidelf, I was watching him. He was holding on to that area and seemed like there was some pain bothering him.
Well, you know, even if he's not playing, I think the Chiba has played well in this third quarter. They've cut that once a 10-point lead to just 5 as Gokai gets stripped by Parker.
Parker has been terrific on defense.
Well, it could have been a foul there. Referee says it was all ball.
Fogg. Nice hesitation. Can he finish? Yes, he can. First 2 points of the second half for Kyle Fogg. He's got a total of 24.
Great hesitation move there by Kyle Fogg.
And he's looking to get going once again. Back-to-back hits. Lead of Guangzhou back up to 9.
Well, Kyle Fogg, nothing rattles him. And you see him very comfortable with the basketball. And getting a shot off at that point is money.
Michael Parker. One thing about that guy, he knows how to position and how to move without the basketball.
Michael Parker, a bit undersized for his position here, but you know, he's done wonders here for the Chiba Jets.
Fogg is fouled by Taguchi. Shigehiro Taguchi will send Fogg to the free throw line as Chiba already is in penalty. Well, you know, it's a difficult situation to be the guy guarding Kyle Fogg because he's just done so much in this game already.
Well, Kyle Fogg now gets his 5th straight point. He's got a tendency to really explode. Very explosive player. Now is 27 for the ball game. Make that 28.
He probably saw Most Pates catching up to his point total and said, let me get some advantage again here. That's going to be an unsportsmanlike foul whistle on Yoshiaki Fujinaga.
Oh, that's a call that we usually see here in the Super 8. You know, nowhere near the ball there.
He was holding on to the right arm of Ray Chen.
Ray Chen, right there, great defense. Coming away with the steal. Really solid player. That's the reason why he's #1 pick in the CBA.
Absolutely, and I'm actually a little surprised that it took him a while to try and join the draft in the CBA, but I'm sure that Guangzhou would say that he's worth that pick. Has been playing very steady minutes here for Coach Juan Antonio Orenga. 4 points now for Chen in 11.5 minutes of play. Oh, he gets blocked there by Edwards. Edwards now on offense, will test Sun Mingyang. Edwards out to Ono, 3 ball, no good. Parker. Ball sails out of bounds. Referees say last touch on Mike Parker.
That's great defense there by Edwards. Chen thought he had a free lane, but Edwards with that athleticism.
Did you see how high he got up? How high on that board he was able to touch?
Yeah, absolutely.
Sun to Fogg. 6 seconds on the shot clock. Kyle making his move. The Hesse, the 3 ball, no good. That ball will sail out of bounds. We'll go back to the Jets.
And Fujinaga, I thought Kyle Fogg should have taken it strong to the hole. Had a smaller defender on him.
Here's Taguchi. Gets 2 defenders up in the air. Edwards back out to Taguchi, 3 ball. No good there.
I thought Edwards should have gone high and taking it should have taken it to the rim there already.
Fogg, elbow J. Wow, both teams missing their shots. They haven't seen a bucket in a while. Oh no, looking for Edwards. It's a foul that's gonna be called on Gokai.
Good seal there by Edwards inside. Gokai pushed out.
Well, that's an okay foul because they're not in penalty yet. So it will just be a baseline inbound with 15 seconds left on the shot clock.
Edwards got a bit too unselfish earlier. He gets this ball inside. Couldn't finish, but he'll get the foul. But, you know, that play earlier when he was, you know, set free by that lob pass, I felt that he should have, you know, went straight to the rim. You know, it would have looked good had that 3 gone in, but that is the better percentage shot inside.
There is such a thing as too unselfish in basketball. Here's Edwards, however, scoring from the free throw line. 35 seconds remaining in the third period. Down to a single-digit lead. 9 points for Guangzhou. Fogg, a similar move he pulled off earlier, but this time, that three finds the bottom of the net.
Oh, Kyle Fogg on fire in this ball game.
31 points for Fogg.
Well, not much you can do there. You know, you want to double him and make others beat you. It's going to be a problem still.
3 seconds remaining. Fogg will put up a three. Almost had it, was looking for a foul. Nonetheless, he still was able to give Guangzhou a 12-point lead at the end of the third quarter. Chiba has shown spurts and runs here in this game, but they have one more in them. We'll find out when we return. The top scorers on your screens, you see Kyle Fogg leading everyone with 31 points. And mind you, we're not done yet. We still have 10 minutes of play, and he's still gonna be on that floor for Guangzhou. He will most likely add to that total.
Well, you know, two imports here, Spates and Fogg combining for 51 of Guangzhou's 72 points. Unbelievable how these two guys have been able to dominate this game. You know, not that the locals of Guangzhou are not the good players. They, you know, we saw them, you know, win the Super 8 earlier this year, and this is a formidable team. But Kyle Fogg and Spates at the moment, they've just been remarkable in this ball game.
But you know, you have to give a lot of credit to the Chiba Jets as well, because while those two guys are doing a lot of damage for the Guangzhou Long Lions, they're still right in this game. I mean, it's a 12-point lead, but that's something you can overcome with one full quarter left.
Yeah, and we saw that in the third period when they started out really well. They cut the lead down to 4. Some good defense. Fogg was struggling to get shots off. But we'll see how the Chiba Jets respond here in the fourth period.
Open there, Fujinaga was fouled by Guo Yejua.
Guo Yejua, you know, he's been caught in a couple of possessions defensively that hasn't been favorable for his team. Earlier, he was in a mismatch against Ono, but this time he makes the wrong decision in closing out and touching the jump shooter, fouling the jump shooter rather, in Nishimura. Oh, sorry, that's Fujinaga rather.
Problem, however, for the Chiba Jets, they aren't able to get something out of that first free throw. They're 10 for 15 from the line. Ten-point lead. Fogg tearing down his defender, Inishii. Fogg makes his move. The kick out to Spades. The bump coming from Edwards.
And the rest of the Chiba Jets bench reacting right there.
Your thoughts on that whistle?
It's a bump right there. Clearly, that's a blocking foul.
Oh, look at that tough shot from Spades. And a turnover for the Jets, a bit too eager to get that ball running.
Well, you credit that turnover to Mo Spades as well, because that shot, I think, was a bit deflating. Well defended, but still puts it in anyway. And on the next play, there was an eagerness to get those 2 points back. And because of that, that led to the turnover. But right here, Fogg commits the offensive foul.
It was a snatch back. And Fogg may be saying, how come you never called one on Michael Jordan? Maybe that's his argument.
That's Michael Jordan, my friend.
Oh no. To the cutting Parker. Also looking for a foul on that play.
That's a great move there by Ono, recognizing Parker. It's a great play. I think they should go to Ono at the post. I think he has the advantage there.
What you like about the offense of the Chiba Jets? They're so active. The guys who don't have the basketball, they're always cutting, and that's why they are always able to get good looks, diving towards the rim.
And speaking of great defense, that's Gokai right there with the tap, able to prevent the fast break, and right back, the Guangzhou Long Lions. Spades again.
How sure are we that Mo Spades is a center? Because he was taking threes and he just pulled out a Euro step.
Probably the quickest Euro step you'll ever see here in the Terrific 12.
And a turnover again for the Chiba Jets. That offensive set did not look good. Spades will allow Parker to get those 2 points.
Game frenetic pace, and Kyle Fogg looking to slow it down. But this has been the story of this ball game. More than most Spades shooting, more than Kyle Fogg's incredible individual show, the turnovers, 17-6, 11-4 in terms of steals.
But the Chiba Jets still knocking on the door of the Guangzhou Long Lions with a couple of turnovers, consecutive turnovers that is, happening on the side of the Long Lions. But Mo Spades, he's pulling a Russell Westbrook, celebrating with that Euro step.
Well, they're not out of the woods yet, the Guangzhou Long Lions. This is just a 10-point game.
Oh no, at the post. Like you said, they've been successful with that scheme. 2 shots for Ryu Ono.
Ono, Kyle Fogg and Ono having a conversation, and Kyle Fogg is laughing because he felt that Ono wanted a pass. And this time he gets 2 free throws because it wasn't the act of shooting. I think Ono wanted to pass as well. Instead, he gets 2 free throws, and Guangzhou already in the penalty. 7 minutes and 2 seconds remaining here in the ballgame.
Ono splits his trip to the free throw line. Deficit down to 9. 7 minutes remaining. Fogg dumping it down low to Ju. Out to Mokhtar. They go now to Chang, and that's going to be a foul on Edwards. That was a clear foul. His fourth now. So now the defense that Edwards will be able to play will be limited. And Omiya will check into the ball game, likely replacing Shane or Gavin Edwards.
Well, Edwards stood his ground there, but there's a lot of contact on that one. So Chiba, without their big man, Gavin Edwards, he's got 4 fouls.
Edwards actually has played pretty much his entire game. And that's what opens up when you don't have an Edwards in there. However, Jang Yongpeng couldn't get that to stay down. Ono once again. Nice pass and the finish for Omiya.
Well, what I like about Omiya is he is cold off the bench, staying ready, staying focused, and staying in it, and may have gotten away with a stepping violation there. But terrific play, and as I mentioned, Ono on the low block, very effective for the Chiba Jets.
Hiromasa Omiya looking to complete this 3-point play. He does so. It's just a 6-point difference between these two teams. Guangzhou in the driver's seat. And they need insurance buckets. Kyle Fogg looking to provide. Good effort there for Parker, making sure that there's no 3-point play. Still blocking that shot after the whistle.
Well, off the dribble, Kyle Fogg just a tough cover with his skills and his ability to get to the rack.
And well, Fogg just can score at will and so quickly. We were already almost halfway through the third quarter when he was still scoreless, but he still was able to finish that period with 9 points.
Well, he can put points on the board quickly and in bunches as well as Chambers returns to the ball game. And McKinney Jones, it looks like he's not coming back because, you know, he's needed on that floor right there. Chiba may be hanging around here, just down by 7, make that 8. But they need his offense, they need that firepower that he provides.
No doubt about that. But no sign of TMJ returning to this ball game. Chambers looking for Ono. Juming Shin sticking too closely. Ono, and that's gonna be 2 free throws for Ono as Guangzhou has been in penalty. Also the 4th foul on Ju.
Why fix if it ain't broke? And Ono, that play has been effective. And Chiba going back to that play and Ono making the first free throw.
What adjustment could Guangzhou make to try and solve this issue? The Chiba Jets looking for Ono always to attack Ju.
I think, you know, probably better on the ball defense, especially on that side of Ono, or just Ju denying Ono from receiving that basketball on the low block.
Would you rather put someone else on him?
Right now, I don't think there's a, you know, if they put a bigger man on him, they'll just beat him off the dribble. But if you put a smaller guy as well, they'll just overpower him. So I think, you know, you deny him that basketball right now.
Oh, that looks like a clean swipe from Michael Parker. No wonder he was upset at the whistle.
Some justice there. Missing that first free throw.
Sun will have a second one. Well, Parker really doing a good job holding down the 4th while Edwards is on the bench nursing 4 fouls. Second one is in for Sun Mingyang. Let's see if the Jets still go to Ono at the post. He's far out from the basket right now. Fujinaga using that pick from Parker. They go now to Michael, barreling in. Tip is no good. And Jang Yongpeng taking that board. The long line's looking to push it.
That's a sorry miss right there.
Zhou Mingshin almost getting it. Parker couldn't get the basket on his second attempt. Nonetheless, he takes 2 free throws.
Well, they were asking for a foul on that play already from Aki Chambers. Kyle Fogg doing a great job defensively, but luckily for Chiba, it was Parker who got that offensive rebound. Now he has a chance to cut this lead to 5.
We started out this quarter with the Guangzhou Long Lions up by 12 points. They're up in this period by 7 points, but they need to make ground for 6 more. That's the advantage of the Long Lions. Edwards will be redeployed here with 5 minutes remaining in the period. Mo Spates also waiting at the officials' table. A strip there. The Jets come out with a steal. Fujinaga to Omiya. Ono. There's gonna be a pick here. It's Omiya who will provide. Ono will have to put it up. Ono finds the bottom of the net. What a difficult shot there.
Wow, what a shot. Ono cutting the lead to just 3. Shot clock winding down against a bigger defender. But Fogg comes right back. Just relentless, Kyle Fogg.
And there are things that trigger Kyle Fogg, you know, just making him take over a game. That 3-pointer from Ono earlier was a sign of a Chiba Jets comeback. Omiya will try his luck. No good. Fogg with the board. Under 4 minutes to play inside the Studio City Event Center. Foul on the Chiba Jets. Omiya will pick that one up, and that will mean free throws for Kyle Fogg.
No, Chiba also in the penalty. Chambers, no choice here but to give up the foul, as the penetration from Kyle Fogg has been proving effective. What can you do about that? Is already in the lane, picked up his dribble. He had a hand on his face, but he makes the shot anyway. 5-point lead for Guangzhou.
Don't get crazy. Keep playing. Sometimes it's
Low,
roll, we have slow, we have seen, we can pass the ball. Score good, the rim.
把篮板球要控制好啊。篮打那个一转。
Levantado.
Kyle Fogg, whenever the Chiba Jets are mounting a comeback, threatening to take over the game, he says, no, I got you guys, to his teammates. 35 points, 5 rebounds, 4 assists. Some might say 27 field goal attempts is a bit too many, but when half of those are falling in, why not?
Yeah, definitely. Kyle Fogg, you know, it's been his day. Look at that. Even the free throws are going in. Look like it's going out.
He was already saying, wow, dreading the miss, but then it decides to fall back in.
2 for 2 that time, and you know, just no answer. The Chiba Jets didn't have an answer to Kyle Fogg in this ball game.
These two teams, like you mentioned earlier, belonging to Group B of the terrific 12. Parker getting blocked from behind. Edwards getting another crack at it. Leaves it for Parker. Almost getting that shot to fall in, but Spates was there to try and block it. A foul called on Mo.
Well, what I like about the Chiba Jets is that, you know, they're forcing it inside, hoping to get a foul, but that simply just the right way to get back into this ball game.
First free throw is in for Parker. 24 points, 17 rebounds. And for Parker, you know, he hasn't had one single play drawn up for him. It's always his effort that allowed him to get those points up. Whether it's getting those rebounds up or just finding a way for his teammates to see him open on the floor.
Yeah, just cutting, moving without the ball. Parker has been terrific for Chiba as well.
In all honesty, I didn't even realize that he already had those numbers.
Me too, especially the 17 rebounds as well.
He's also got 3 blocks to complete his line. Spades missing from outside.
But Chiba, big possession here. Can make it just a 4-point game or a 3-point game here.
Edwards, Fujinaga with the basketball. Tapped by Spades. 7 seconds remaining. Parker almost losing it, still was able to put it to deuce.
That's just great recognition inside. Parker had the advantage against Fogg, and his teammates able to find him inside for the high percentage shot, and that cuts the lead down to 4.
Good intention for Ju-Ming Shin, but that was disrupted by Fujinaga. The bench of Chiba feeling the comeback. You see that smile on the face of Coach Atsushi Ono.
You know what? Fujinaga got a tap from Mo Spades, acknowledging his effort there. He just came out of nowhere to disrupt that play. We have a timeout.
需要上边啊，那个在下边啊 ，baby 在下边。明星发球。看这个2个点啊，一个是大外扬、小外扬的点。来 ，baby 往篮下要一下，要一下啊。
Ready?
如果对方守联防的话。哦 ，baby 动作上面。拨开吸热，然后底线呢交叉啊，然后交叉，然后内线交叉啊。Let's go, finish up, finish up. Go, let's go. 加油啊！加油去！
The matchup between the two guys have been doing a lot of damage in this game. Michael Parker and Kyle Fogg. Here's Fogg, 2 seconds to shoot. Puts it up. Nothing there but the tip-in from Zhang Yongpeng.
Well, out of nowhere there, Zhang beating Edwards to that rebound and a big basket to make it a 6-point game.
Shot up. The tip-in for Edwards. No. Parker decides to dribble it out. 3. No good. Fogg beating Chambers to that board. That's an important rebound. And, oh, that was a solid pick from Spades. Fogg, the kick out to Makar. Spades. That would have hurt badly for the Chiba Jets. Spades going a bit cold from outside here. He's missed what? Maybe 2 or 3 attempts already in the 4th.
Yeah, but already with a big double-double even in the 3rd quarter.
Oh no, short on that 3. Chambers leaving it for Edwards. That's a foul. That will be whistled on Spades.
Well, Edwards got sandwiched there. Chambers doing a good job in tracking down that miss from Ono. And now Edwards has a chance again to put the Chiba to within 4.
Oh, that was way off for Gavin Edwards.
Oh, Gavin Edwards. You know, Guangzhou has rotated 5 or 6 big men. And Edwards has hardly taken a breather.
Well, that's the strength of the Guangzhou Long Lions. They're stacked at every position. Fog here. 1:10 remaining. It's winning time inside the Studio City Event Center. Which champion will come out on top? Fog, the crossover. Leaves it for Zhu. The reverse layup is in. And that may have been the dagger.
Well, Kyle Fogg has been creating for himself for most of this ball game, putting shots up, and that time being the decoy, getting to the lane and fighting Zhu Mingshi, his teammate, for this undergoal stab, making it a 7-point game for Guangzhou.
Michael Parker, his strong effort here might go in vain, might end up in vain, as they are down by 7 points with only 57 seconds remaining. And I heard him talking on that bench. He was really a bit frustrated that they were just down by 4 points, but a couple of errors here and there. It's a 7-point game.
Well, one last push here for Chiba. They need a bucket. And it looks like the play wasn't followed again. And they have to improvise here. Shot clock down to 8.
Fujinaga, that's a miss. Ball lands in the hands of Ishii. 3 is good! It may not have been the designed play, but I'm sure Coach Ono will take it anyway. The Chiba Jets now within 4 after a big three-pointer from Kosuke Ishii.
Kyle, you're here. See, you're here. Yeah. I just want get the ball. Get the ball. Just wait. You're here. Okay. But late 14 seconds. See, you are here. If we cannot pass, you will say pass. No, you play the same.
Hey, we need to stop after this play.
The Guangzhou Long Lions behind those two guys, Kyle Fogg and Mo Spades, are up by 4 points, 87 to 83. They have the basketball, but the Chiba Jets, you know, they're still breathing life here. Michael Parker, big game for him, and he's trying to get back, work a miracle with 31.9 seconds remaining.
Well, a tough proposition here for Chiba because it's a 2-possession game. You know, they should get the ball back, but they have to go for the steal early, force a turnover, and, you know, with no choice, they have to play the foul game as well if they don't. But right there, Zhu gets fouled. We'll see. These are pressure-packed free throws.
Zhu Mingxin, MVP of the Summer Super 8 last July, a former national team member for China. You know, he started out as a high school superstar in China and obviously made a name, continued to make a name for himself there. until he is where he is now. A superstar here in the Asia League.
2 for 2. Great composure there from Zhu. Guangzhou needs to prevent the 3 as well.
Ishii being bothered by fog. Pass out to Ono. Ono, difficult 3. Nothing there, and that will be the ball game. Guangzhou will try to waste away. Oh, they'll try to take a shot here. Juming Shin with a 3-pointer at the buzzer.
Well, that's critical because it could go down to a quotient, especially if 3 teams end up with a 1-1 record. So, you know, every point matters here in this tournament, and a terrific job by Guangzhou right there to finish the ball game and come away with a 9-point win.
You know, actually, Coach Juan Antonio Orenga explaining to the opposing coaches, coaching staff of the Chiba Jets, why they had to take a shot at that final moment. And like you said, Sidaf, it will be very crucial. You know, the differences, the point differences between all these games. At the end of it, it's the Guangzhou.
Winners over the Chiba Jets in the 3rd game of the Asia League Terrific 12. And I'm with Mo Spates of the Long Lions. And Mo, how has it been so far? Debut game for the Long Lions?
It's been good, man. My teammates is great. Coaches and staff is great. I've only been here for like 4 or 5 days.